what is globalization? It's a big word that has been around for a long time. It just means that people are more connected to each other outside of their own countries. Derming Australia is the result of a connection between Australia and Italy. And it's a project that has started following the need for an Australian contract organisation, Derming Australia, to collaborate with other research companies around the world to be able to respond to its clients' needs. In fact, more and more Australian clients involved in the development of dermatological products contacted the Data Farm, which has been around for 25 years as a contract research organization, and they wanted to conduct efficacy studies on the products. So after 3 years from the first meeting between Data Farm and Derming in Italy, Derming Australia was set up in 2009 as an independent business specialized in dermatology studies within Data Farm's head office. So what is the advantage? Being locally based and internationally connected means that clients can approach companies like ours and get the best expert advice regarding contacting research in a specific geographic area, whether that is Australia, Europe, or the US. And what is the situation in Australia? A large percentage of the cosmetic market is represented by imports, and nonetheless there's a number of small to medium local companies, and there are a good number of those that are interested in differentiating their products to the others, and they're interested in delivering quality cosmetic products. Efficacy, tolerance, and sensory testing are seen as a tool to battle overseas competitors and to be able to export products overseas. So in our experience at Derming Australia, there are an increasing number of local companies that ask us to conduct the studies in Australia in order to have more control over the testing process. The other reason that encourages companies to conduct research in Australia is the Aussie Industry Tax Incentive, which, as most of you probably already know, provides generous benefits to eligible R&D activities. And about that, as you already probably know, what it means is that Australian entities conducting research in Australia, according to certain criteria, are entitled to claim the R&D tax incentive of 45% refundable tax offset, as long as the activities satisfy the definition of core R&D activities or supporting R&D activities. And there is also a program from the government called Commercialisation Australia that provides grants to local companies to develop or start. Our experience is also that, on the other hand, we often receive requests from local or overseas clients for the study to be conducted in Italy or overseas. The reason, as we already discussed, are many. For example, in the case that these manufacturers are exporting, is that they need to meet certain regulations, or they need to meet the requests from certain buyers. Because sometimes, even though there's no regulation, or you have met certain regulations, the buyers require you to do certain further testing or to provide some documents, some data regarding your product before they take it on and sell it. So to be able to test effectiveness of the product on actual population, that's another reason to conduct testing overseas to be able to test the effectiveness of the product on the actual population or environmental conditions that they're marketing their product to, as we discussed earlier. Sometimes the reason can simply be that based on the research company capability to perform certain tests or hold certain equipment, or it's also related to seasonality. So the current situation, it is a good time for cosmetic companies to conduct research in Australia or overseas, and especially when times seem to be tougher because of the global financial crisis. It is actually an excellent opportunity to focus on new products development and marketing because the competition is stronger. In cosmetics and personal care products, both product development and marketing are directly dependent on product testing. Sometimes companies seem to think that by cutting on R&D costs, they will be able to survive in tough times. But a better approach is found to be to spend resources wisely and invest in activities where you can gain greater competitiveness. Marketing is like Facebook. You always need fresh content to keep your followers engaged. Marketing campaigns can be very expensive, and to be worthwhile, they need to tell new stories all the time. They need to tell clients why they need to start buying or keep buying a certain product rather than another. And research is a large resource of fresh content for cosmetic marketing. So I see a lot going on in terms of samples giveaway from cosmetic companies these days, and this is probably in the hope that customers will end up buying that product. What if instead you were able to attract customers' interest by saying that this product is proved to be good for your skin, it is proved to be fine on sensitive skin, and it's been tested by other people and they think it's a good product, so we think you should buy it. So invest in competitiveness. Also, a lot of companies seem to think that cosmetics testing is very expensive, and they're quite surprised to find out that it doesn't have to be. Can small, medium cosmetic companies afford testing? Research companies should be able to match the right study to each client budget, within reason, of course. So there just need to be an open, trustful relationship between cosmetic companies and testing companies. So start becoming friends with the research companies and you will be amazed what they will be able to do for your business.